Feeling you might be micromanaging your team? Maybe have a problem letting go of control? Let me tell you why you don't want to be a micromanager. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, your go-to place for building your dream career and achieving your highest potential. I'm Allie, and today we have another segment of Food for Thought Leader Thursday where we discuss interesting topics in hopes it gives you just a little something to chew on after you leave this video. And for today, we're gonna be talking about micromanagers. These are people who have difficult times letting go of control. These might be people who put more upon themselves than they do anybody else. And just in general, they are never happy with the final product, assuming that it can always be better than what they actually see. And there are several reasons why you don't want to have that mindset. Not only are managers burnt out because they're pushing themselves and everybody else around them, but they tend to have pretty poor team relations, lack of trust, poor communication, and you probably don't know everything because employees do not want you to know. And so even though your tendencies might have good intentions, it actually has some very negative consequences for yourself, for the employees around you, and for the organization. So it leaves the question of how can we resolve it? First, you have to identify what the underlying cause is. More often than not, people who are micromanagers tend to have an underlying fear of failure. They do not like it when they mess up. And so, one, you have to understand what that fear is and be willing to let go and realize that you can still achieve what you want to. Once you understand the underlying cause, now figure out how that manifests. What behaviors do you do? How exactly are you controlling? So take a task inventory. How many times do you email your employees? How many times do you go to their office and talk to them? Go to their cubicle and talk to them? How many times do they come to you for making decisions? You see, there are several different ways that you can interact with your employees. And so in order for you to figure out what to change, you need to understand what behaviors you engage in and what behaviors are focused solely on performance. And then once you figure those two things out, you just need to make gradual changes. And this is what I call the 3-2-1 approach. Once you have your list of tasks and you can see in what areas you tend to be the most controlling, I challenge you for the first week or two, cut that by a third. Yeah, by a third. So if you send 10 emails to one employee, I challenge you to cut that down to 7. The reason why you want to do that is because we don't want you to cut all interaction. Right? You want to develop good habits with your employees, but you want to cut out the negative interactions. Now, I can see why you have some reservations, and so maybe complete elimination might not be the best for you. And so if you aren't up for completely eliminating a certain behavior, then instead, I challenge you to change a third of those interactions into positive interactions. So if you're going to email your employee, don't nag them about the job. Tell them they're doing a great job. Give them praise and appreciation. Really try to embed positive behaviors and encouragement, because ultimately, this is what's going to build their confidence. This is also what's going to help them develop themselves. Confident, empowered employees are more likely to learn on the job. So you have two options with this 3-2-1 approach. Eliminate behaviors completely by a third, or replace those 3 with more positive behaviors. Whichever you pick is really up to you. But I promise you, by doing this 3-2-1 approach and gradually changing it by a third of your behaviors, you are going to see a huge difference in how your employees respond to you and their overall productivity. And you're also going to see that you're going to be more effective as a leader overall. Well, that's it for today's segment of Food for Thought Leader Thursday. What did you think of today's segment? Do you know someone who might be a little over-controlling or overbearing? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're particularly interested in how to effectively delegate tasks to your employees, then I highly recommend my Tips for Tea Time video, where I give you my top tips on how to effectively delegate tasks to your team. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified of my latest videos. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, where I give you all my latest updates on my channel, as well as tips and advice that you don't see on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until we think again, everyone, take it easy.